Hi everybody, we are back, and in this talk we are going to be reviewing breath work, and specifically different types of breath work, and we're going to focus on resonance frequency breathing because that is the main focus of breathing for strengthening the heart rate variability biomarker that we have talked about. And this is our reading for today. So I'll share this link with you like I did with the other video. And you can go to it and read in all the details, but I'm going to give you a snapshot version and the stuff that I find interesting and that I want you to know as you work on your breath work. So why breathing? Why breath work for developing your heart rate variability and developing overall health? Well, first of all, I'll just start by saying, whenever we breathe in, whenever we have a deep breath in, the heart rate goes up just a little bit. And then we eventually have to breathe out and the heart rate goes down. So I think that's very interesting. And think to yourself for a minute, why does it do that? When you breathe in, why does the heart rate go up? And when you breathe, why does it go down? So you can pause it here and write down some thoughts and theories about that. And then I'll tell you. So essentially, when you breathe in, the heart rate goes up. Well, there's a pressure in the body that increases, but it also goes up because you're stimulating your nervous system. You're actually producing more of a sympathetic response when you breathe in. When you breathe out, you are taking pressure off the heart, and you're also stimulating the vagus nerve. And that's your parasympathetic nervous system. So you're calming your nervous system every time you breathe out. So I want you to remember those two concepts. When we breathe in, our heart rate increases. When we breathe out, heart rate decreases, because that really is the foundation of breath work, a lot of breath work, and why it is so important, and why we can modulate our breath in certain ways to strengthen our autonomics. So for example, if we want to modulate our autonomic nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system to be in a more alert state, well, we would breathe in a little bit more than what we'd breathe out. We take long, deep breaths into our chest, and then we would breathe out very quickly. And that actually gives you like a stimulation or a wake up call that increases your oxygen levels, but it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system more likely. Then if I were to say, well, breathe to relax or breathe to sleep, well, we'd want to have more breath on our exhalation. So we want to breathe a little bit more on our exhalation. And when we did that, so we would take a quicker breath in. We wouldn't fill that chest up. We would just breathe in through the abdomen, and then we would breathe out in a very slow pattern, kind of like you're blowing hot soup or hot tea before you drink it. You just go very regulated and slow, as long as you can go, and that will kind of calm that nervous system down. So take a moment again to just do that. Take a moment to breathe in very quickly for maybe 6 seconds in, hold it, and then breathe out really fast. And do that 3 or 4 times. So 6 seconds on the inhalation, and then maybe 3 seconds on the exhalation. If you feel like you can't do the 3 seconds, shorten it up. The 6 seconds, shorten it up to maybe 4 seconds. And press pause and come back to this when you are ready. Now, when you come back, what I want you to do is do a quick exhalation breath. So focus on that exhalation and see how you feel. So take a quick breath in, maybe 3 seconds. When you breathe into the diaphragm, breathe into the belly, and then start to breathe out. But have very regulated breath out, and like you're blowing on soup. And go as long as you can, maybe 4 seconds out or 6 seconds out. And do that for a few times. So you breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and then breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and repeat that. And when you're ready, pause it again and do that for a few minutes, and then come back to the video. So what did you notice when you did that? Did you notice any weird sensations in your body? Did you notice your heart rate increasing? Um, Generally, when you do the more inhalations, you're going to, because whenever you breathe in, your heart rate goes up. So the more you're breathing in, on average, the more that heart rate or stimulation effect you're going to get. And then the more you breathe out, the more relaxed you're going to feel. And some people feel sensations of relaxation they haven't felt before, especially if you're chronically stressed out. So feelings of relaxation, body feelings of relaxation, maybe a sense of glowing sensation or tingling sensation in the hands, or you may feel a bit of a well, some people feel a little, almost like a little bit of a creepy crawly feeling, especially at the beginning when they haven't felt like a relaxation effect for a long time, a forced relaxation effect. So maybe a little uncomfortable to some people. So where are we going with this? Well, what I want to do is talk a little bit about a frequency breathing and resonance frequency breathing. And that's what this is all about here. So take a read on this. And essentially, when you breathe in breathe in through this resonance frequency breathing, you are going to breathe in through the diaphragm. So you need to be sitting up straight. You need to have your back up and your feet in front of you level. You need to have your hands maybe on your legs in front of you. And then your diaphragm is free to fill. And sometimes people put their hand on their belly so they can feel their diaphragm, because sometimes you have to wake up that diaphragm and feel it, and it'll be easier to breathe through the belly. And practice this 7 seconds in, 3 second breath in, and 7 second breath out. You could even shorten that to 4 seconds out or 6 seconds out. And that's resonance frequency breathing. And what I wanted to show you from this is essentially what it will look like in your heart rate when you're monitoring this through like the Elite HRV app that we use. And your heart rate will go from a very sporadic kind of a reading. There's no pictures here, but it'll go from a very sporadic reading where it's all over the place, and you'll see that when you're reading your heart rate variability. And then all of a sudden you start breathing, and you'll notice your heart rate starts to look like this. Your heart rate variability graph reading starts to look like this. And this is in nature. In nature, anytime we enter into this kind of a wave format, we know we're in a relaxation. We generally have a relaxation effect in all of our body. So this is coming off of our heart, but we'll also tend to have the same with our brain waves, and same with our digestion, nervous system, electrical activity in our nervous system will still follow this as well. And in nature, this type of a pattern is very calming. Why do you think we rock our babies to sleep? And why do you think babies like consistent rocking? Well, that's because it creates this resonance frequency. They'll start to pair their breathing cycle, and they will start to develop their own resonance frequency. And it's a very, very, very calming, soothing effect on the body. So we see this in nature, and animals will do this as well, create a resonance frequency to calm their body down. And it's only for a short period of time, and it's really meant to maximally engage this parasympathetic nervous system. And that's the relaxation phase of our nervous system. And so again, when someone is stressed out, they are generally, on average, most people aren't breathing in this pattern. So this is a pattern that has to be learned and practiced regularly to become a little more automatic. It's never going to be automatic, because we're only going to be doing this for a period of time, and then after that, we don't really have to focus on our breathing. It'll become easier, and when times of need, you will regulate this breathing pattern more likely under times of stress, for example. But it's not kind of a natural pattern. What seems to be a little more natural, especially now in our modern world, we tend to focus a little more on the inhalation. So it's no wonder that a lot of us are at work, working throughout the day, and we're subconsciously, not even thinking about it, our nervous systems are a little bit more trained to inhale, breathe in, and then quickly breathe out. And breathe in and fill our chest up. And really, we're really focusing on our, naturally we breathe kind of into our chest and then breathe out. But what do you think happens when we're breathing in more often and breathing out very quickly? We start to hyperventilate and we start to feel our nervous system gets stimulated. And if it keeps going and doesn't stop, you can start having symptoms of low oxygen, which would be lightheadedness, dizziness, fatigue, a feeling of being spaced out, increased heart rate when you stand up, and brain fog and difficulties with reading and concentrating and talking and attention. And so that can happen just with our breathing and that more of the chest breathing, we call it. And that's why it's so important to um, do this resonance frequency, and why it will be the focus of our heart rate variability training and our biofeedback training through the heart rate variability app. All right, so take a read of this and we will check in on the next module.